Notice the tribal tattoo on his upper left arm. This is one of the autopsy photos that was given to CBS for a 60 Minutes episode about his death. Notice no tattoo.
The Epstein is alive theory doesn't sound so wild anymore after some shocking new receipts leaked, including an internal draft of the NYSD's press release announcing Epstein's 214 hours before he died. When authorities released the photos of the body they claimed was Epstein, people immediately noticed something was off. The face didn't match. The ears were different. The nose was different. Anyone familiar with photos of Epstein when he was alive could see it didn't line up. Also, the ambulance footage seems inconsistent with the official timeline, and a lot of people are saying it looks staged. So naturally, people started speculating that Epstein was switched out and quietly taken somewhere safe, quite possibly the same country where Ghislaine Maxwell's father was given a state funeral. And this conversation picked up even more steam when Kanye jumped in and shared a photo he quickly deleted, which some people claim showed Epstein alive and well. Now, to be clear, that image was later proven to be fake, but that doesn't erase the bigger issue. There are still a lot of inconsistencies and strange details surrounding the official story of what supposedly happened to Epstein. So let's break all of this down. Alright, let's start with the most recent revelations. As part of the latest Epstein files dump, this document came out showing a Trump administration press release that, for reasons no one has really explained, was issued one day before Epstein died. We were told Epstein died on August 10th, 2019, but the press release is dated August 9th, and the press release even says Friday, August 9th. It's one thing if they had simply written August 9th, then maybe we could just dismiss it as just a date error. Even if someone got the date wrong, they definitely knew it was Saturday and not Friday, considering they probably don't even work on Saturday. But it gets even stranger. According to recently released documents, new surveillance footage shows an orange shape, possibly a person, near Epstein's cell shortly before he supposedly took his own life. And this is huge, because for years the public was told no one approached his cell during that time, including guards who were supposed to be making checks. And then the condition of the cell has also raised questions. Reports say it contained orange linens, blankets, and clothing that were allegedly used to make multiple nooses. Yet officials have said they can't determine which one was used, or even confirm whether it's still in evidence. Michael Thomas, a corrections officer at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, found Epstein's body at approximately 6:30 a.m. However, he later testified that he can't recall taking the noose off. Then there's the reported position of the body. Epstein was supposedly found hanging in what's been described as a near-seated position, possibly shirtless, with his legs extended and his body just inches from the floor. These are only some of the inconsistencies people are pointing to in the latest releases. Taken together, they don't offer much clarity, and they raise reasonable questions about why so much of this information was kept from the public for so long. Now let's look at the official photos they released in 2019, supposedly showing Epstein's body on a stretcher. First off, the timestamps on the photos tell the whole story. The first shot was taken at 7:24:12 a.m. Epstein has no tube in his mouth. 8 seconds later, a new photo is taken, and suddenly, a tube appears. But then, the edited version hits the media by 9:49 a.m. These photos were first released by the New York Post, but based on the timestamps, this could mean that the Post reversed the photo order. The image with the breathing tube came after the one without it. And some people see this as evidence that the timeline may have been manipulated, and that the mainstream media didn't document what actually happened. Instead, they might have helped stage something that didn't happen at all. Also, in this photo, Epstein's arm is bent in a way no unconscious body could hold. The tube looks misplaced, if it's even real. The guy doing CPR wasn't in the shot seconds earlier. It's looking rather like a staged performance and clearly not a resuscitation. What's also strange is that within about 10 seconds, the real paramedics were, allegedly, replaced by these clean-cut guys without EMS patches. We're just speculating here, but these dudes look more like special agents than paramedics. But fast forward a few months later, and another photo quietly drops, most likely showing the original medics. So why did they hold this photo back? Is it because it shows the swap? That the original crew was real, and those clean-cut guys with sunglasses weren't? It's also been reported that 2 vans left the hospital that day, one out front, one out back, and the press allegedly followed the decoy van. So the theory goes that the real handoff happened where no one was watching, and that Epstein was simply switched out. Now remember back in July when the DOJ released 10 hours of Epstein's cell footage and got caught cutting out a full 60 seconds? The feed jumps clean from 11:59 to 12. No explanation, just gone. Again, this is just speculation speculation, but this could be the exact moment Epstein was moved out of his cell, alive. And now watch this clip of Dan Bongino and Kash Patel saying Epstein took his own life. Look at their faces. They look like they don't believe a word of what they're saying.
You know what, Maria? Kash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you. If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't. In some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there. And I know people, I get it, I understand. It's not there. If it was there, we would have told you.
And by this point, it should be pretty clear this was never just about Epstein as an individual. Over the years, there have been allegations that he had intelligence ties and may have been part of a larger blackmail operation. The exact same stuff that's been reported about Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell. This story goes way beyond a single person or a single case. And all these people we see publicly debating this, whether it's Bongino, Kash Patel, other politicians, or commentators, they're not the ones actually calling the shots. It's hard not to see them as puppets reading off a script they were given. Now, let's circle back to Kanye for a moment. There were some reports circulating over the past week claiming that Kanye was also named in the files. And technically that's true, but not in the way you're thinking. The only mention of Kanye comes from a single email where Epstein said he likes Ye's song Power. There's no other context, no allegations, nothing beyond that single reference. And that's very different from how some other names appear in the documents. Say, for example, Jay-Z, where the mentions apparently come with some seriously dark allegations. So what do we do with all of this? You don't have to accept any single theory as truth, but you also shouldn't ignore the fact that there are a lot of unanswered questions. The timeline is messy. The documents don't match the narrative. The photos don't line up. And the people who are supposed to be overseeing this have a track record of, well, not being totally transparent. So you can believe whatever you want, but you should at least admit that the version we were given doesn't sit right. And when something this big happens and the answers don't add up, the only honest response is to ask more questions. This isn't just about one man. It's about the system that enabled him. So don't let yourself be distracted. Keep watching, keep paying attention. And if you see something that doesn't add up, don't just accept it and turn away, because that's exactly how they lock the story in and move on like nothing happened. Just because Epstein is gone or moved somewhere doesn't mean the operation stopped. There are probably other versions of this still running right now behind closed doors. But now I want to hear your thoughts on all this. If Epstein was moved or replaced, where do you think he's most likely hiding and why? Do you think there are more Epsteins out there still operating? And do you feel we'll ever get real justice in this case? Or will it get buried like so many others? Leave all your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.